All right, let's kind of go ahead and get into this conversation, man, with Kevin Stefanski on what he did on his midweek press conference in regards to Shedeur Sanders. Let's get started.
This week, heading out to Vegas, obviously getting a lot of work done on their team and their schemes. I think they do a great job. Obviously, I have a ton of respect for Coach Carroll and then what they do offensively, defensively, special teams. Really a challenge in a bunch of different areas. Look at the roster, some really, really special players. Obviously, Max Crosby gets a lot of the attention on defense, deservedly so. Brock Bowers on their offense is outstanding. So really, and then special teams, they got great returners, good core. So it's going to be quite the challenge. And we got to go to school on this football team and understand their schemes, understand what they're trying to do on any given down. So that's where we're getting started. Shedeur is going to start at quarterback. Dylan is still in the concussion protocol. He is improving. But obviously we got to put a plan together for all of our players, all of our offense, our defense, our special teams, plan of attack, and give our guys a chance to go execute and play fast. That's the goal. And with that, I'll take any questions.
So what do you think the outlook will be for Shedeur now that he's got a whole week of practice to work with everybody, and you guys can design a game plan specifically for that?
Yeah, I think you're always trying to do that, Mary Kay, with all your players to make sure that they're comfortable, and it's no different with Shedeur in there. You want to make sure that all the concepts are things that he feels confident in. Obviously, having been around him over the months, you get a good sense of the things that he's, fit his eye, so to speak. So definitely want to lean into those type of things, and he's working very hard.
Coming from that system in Colorado to what you guys run, how have you seen growth picking that up?
Yeah, we've talked a lot over the course of these months, is just learning NFL defenses for young players, learning obviously our system, but just I always point out to the quarterbacks that every week you're facing a defense that oftentimes has completely different rules than the defense you just played. Whether it's how they play their cover three or some of your blitz protection calls can vary week to week. So I just see Shedeur, Dylan, all of our young guys, but in particular that quarterback room growing a ton, both just with the X's and O's, and then all the work you do in individual periods. I just think all that work adds up. So I do see significant growth from Shedeur and all these young guys.
Pretty much like the vast majority of those reps, you plan to spread it with family or anything?
No, he'll get every rep.
Okay. And also, I saw a quote from Mike Tomlin earlier in the week or yesterday that Arthur Smith would talk to Mason Rudolph back up during the week about the weekly game plan and what he feels comfortable if he had to go into the game when he had an injury. Has the offensive coaching staff done anything with that, like Shedeur over the course?
Yeah, you do this. You do the same thing. You always do that with your backup. Understand, you get. I don't know if every team does it this way, but you get your starters' favorite plays, you get your backups' favorite plays. So you're well aware of that.
How does that? What's the key to translating?
Boy, he naming Shedeur Sanders' name, bro.
I think it just goes back to, we talk about taking the practice field to the game field, and you try and take the meeting room to the practice field. Like I told the team this morning, we throw so much at them, so much information, so many details about our opponent and our game plan and those type of things. And I think our players do a really nice job of taking that to heart in the meeting room and then going out on the practice field. And Wednesdays are typically the day where you're still crystallizing it in your mind, if you will, and still getting some of the details down. But by the end of Wednesday, you feel really good about the base game plan. So I think that's just all quarterbacks are like that, where you get the game plan on Tuesday for a quarterback and you start spending some time with it. And then probably the base game plan starts to, really cement in your head sometime around Wednesday evening.
What do you think Shedeur did best in this one half?
Yeah, obviously, he battled to the end. We're right there on that final drive, Tony. I think there's so many things that all of us can do better in those moments so we can finish with a win. But, man, all of our guys and definitely Shedeur, they battled to the end.
He really wants to get to know the receivers and their habits and what they like and things like that. Just,
from your experience in the league, how long does that process typically take for any quarterback, not just a young guy, but just any QB to really develop that inherent knowledge about what the supporting cast like?
Yeah, I think, listen, it's obvious that the more time and the more reps, period, are always better. I do think, as you know, as quarterbacks, they sit in that room. You watch a lot of tape together. So you watch the receivers, and sometimes you don't get the rep, but you see how those guys come out. So that's what you have to do as backups, that Shedeur does, that all of our guys do. When you're not getting that rep, you're just making mental notes to yourself about how guys come out of breaks. And there's a lot of dialogue around that, certainly with the quarterbacks. And that's why, I should remark how this group really pushes each other, but they support each other. I think that's, part of what Coach Musk and Coach Reese do in that meeting room, where they really are. It's a collaborative effort. They work hard together.
With the offensive line and with Shedeur behind it, how much is that? The quarterback has to get more comfortable trusting the guys in front of him, so that he knows can get rid of the ball, that sort of thing. The pocket presence, all of that. How much does that play into it?
Yeah, I think it's certainly all 11 guys. When you're talking about protection and being able to be precise in the pass game, you have to have great pocket. You have to have the quarterback working with the offensive line, but it really does include everybody doing their job. Yeah, I'm obviously focused on this game. Yeah, I'm obviously not going to get into specifics. The authorities are on that. Shedeur is very focused on the task at hand.
Neither of the offensive tackles are on the pre-practice injury report. Both.
We'll see. I think both of them are going to practice in a limited fashion today. Yeah, I have a ton of respect for how he plays the game. He goes 100 miles an hour about 100% of the time. He's just he has the energy and the effort, the finish for a 60-minute football game. It's really impressive. He can line up on either side. He can really show up anywhere on the field. But the way he plays is truly remarkable. Yeah, I think that's part of training, part of individual drills, certainly part of team drills and practice. While you're not getting hit by your teammates, it is something that you try to replicate as much as you can. But it's as you know, it's hard. No, I think for sure you constantly are talking about your players and the skill sets that your players have. That's a big part of it. Then it's also part of trusting the schemes, and that goes for the quarterback, for the receivers, for everybody, trusting that your guy's going to be where he's supposed to be on the prescribed time, and that gives you a ton of comfort, confidence to let it rip. Mm-hmm. No, I think the things that allow you to win on the road are the same regardless of the time zone. I'd say day to day, but he's working hard.
He's really excited to get his first chance Sunday or even play. Can you see that excitement level? Because he knows he's going to get this first start.
I think he's excited about the opportunity, but he's so focused on the work that goes into it. So as you can imagine, any player, and certainly at the quarterback position, there's a lot that gets put on your plate. So he's working hard. Not really. I mean, he's seen it all. He's seen, and we've pointed out the obviously the chips by the tight ends, the chips by the running backs, the slide coming to him. I don't know that teams have done anything differently this year other than to continue to pay him a lot of attention. Yeah, he's worked extremely hard at his craft. Like, and I've pointed this out. This is that rookie class. I mean, he fits in with these guys that they love football. They love what they're doing. They pour themselves into this thing. So it's been fun to watch Shedeur, fun to watch a lot of these young guys because we've done.
He said
so
Shedeur name again.
Reps, extra individual periods to watch them work at their craft, which is, part of one of the main parts of our job is the development of these players. I think Shedeur is just going to be himself. I think that's what players appreciate other players when they're themselves. Yeah, we've been doing that throughout the season. Just get to spend extra time with him, just watching a lot of his tape from the previous day. Okay. Thanks, guys.
And there you have it, man. There you have it. How many times he called Shedeur name in that interview? That's the most times he said Shedeur Sanders' name in so long. That's the most. Like, bro. Off the chain, man. Off the chain. Want to hear from Shedeur Sanders from yesterday.
I'll be excited.
Your offensive line. We're gonna do Chris and then
Adversity, things aren't always gonna go, as planned, but I would say, I'm prepared for everything.
What's your plan to approach this week, knowing now that you are going to get your first NFL start?
The same how I always am, knowing exactly where everybody's gonna be, prepare, understand that they have a great defense, they're coached by a great coach, and they have a great players on that side of the ball. So just doing what I can, to prepare mentally, physically, emotionally, to make sure I'm my best self.
Sure. How much do you feel that with this start, you play well, that you could sort of cement yourself as the starting quarterback moving forward?
I don't think too much into that. I think in the moment present today, I go over the game plan and make sure I execute that. When you start moving too fast in life, sometimes, you miss the small details of things. So I never want to overlook anything.
Shedeur, what's the 24, 48 hours after the Ravens game? What was your kind of process like deconstructing that game, going through your reps, and what were you able to kind of pull away from that you can build off of and as positives?
Really, the positives from that game is just being able to go in there, breaking that barrier, coming off the sideline for so many weeks, and being able to do that. I don't think a lot of people understand, how challenging that is from a rookie going into a game. Now, a lot of NFL vets, backup quarterbacks, they've been in the league. You feel me? I'm just coming out of college, So it's a different feeling, but I enjoy it. So, as the game went on and, I settled in, okay, I know what's going on. So as long as I get comfortable, which I am, each and every day, seeing the guys run the routes and being out there, it feels good. So I know for sure I'm going to do everything in my power. And as a team, we're doing everything in our power to make sure we have success on Sunday.
Shedeur, how much are you looking forward to this week, getting all of the first team reps? Because Kevin said you're going to get all of them. Getting all of those first team reps finally for the first time with the starters, and then having Tommy design a game plan to maximize your strengths and your skill set.
Yeah, I'm truly excited for that. Knowing that, I have a piece of offense and a say-so and how things fit my eye and place the players exactly where they need to be, seeing how they come in and out of routes, seeing the structure of the alignment, seeing they set, just having a feeling. Like I'm more of a feel type of person, so that's how I learn. That's how I do everything. I'm gonna just watch it. It's just gonna happen. No, like I gotta be out there, feel it. I gotta move around. It's like so many details that it takes for me, to feel my best and play my best. And I'm doing everything in my power, and the team's doing everything, to help me get prepared.
Shedeur, as you've worked behind the scenes, obviously we haven't gotten to see you at practice since training camp, but what are you most proud of, I guess, with your development so far, and where do you feel like you've grown?
I would say definitely, I would say mentally, emotionally. I know this is a trending topic that my house got broken into, but I'm in a mental space now to where, it's not too much that could faze me, honestly. That's going on. And none of my jewelry got took anyway. So, by the way, none of my jewelry got took. So now, it's just caught slipping. It happens.
Shedeur, you mentioned after the game on Sunday how you'd like to really understand the details of your receivers and what they like and whatnot. Just historically for you as a player, how long has that process typically taken you as far as, getting to a point where you guys see what each other wants without maybe actually having to see what each other wants and likes?
Well, I would say I definitely have a realistic approach, and I know my development, as a player and everything, and mentally and everything, has to speed up due to the situation. So I just like new challenges, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun going out there, doing what I got to do, and the fact that we are up against time, we are up against, growing real fast. So that's what's exciting. That's what, is the rush, that everybody feels. That's what excitement. That's when everybody gonna be in the stadium lit to understand how quickly, it is gonna take for us to have success. And I truly believe it won't be long.
Shedeur, I know you have probably been envisioning this opportunity for a long time. You have a lot of fans who want so much, expect so much from you. What's your philosophy on managing expectations in a situation like this? I
would say for sure I'm a big critic, so in certain situations in the game, even in that fourth down of that last game, I wish I would have just extended the play, So mind you, I don't listen to critics. I don't listen to anybody has to say that's not within the organization, not within the team, not within the family or anything, because it's like everybody have their own perspectives, but they're not out there doing it, so, or they done it in their past life and their time has passed. So I'm just thankful that I'm living in the present. Now I have the opportunity to go out there and do the best I can. Will there be mistakes? Of course. But it wouldn't be as many mistakes, we're trying to minimize those most possible.
Shedeur, what was your dad's reaction to you getting the start, and will he be there on Sunday?
Quite honestly, right now, I'm not even I don't know. I'm so focused on what I'm doing. I don't even be talking to too many people right now.
I'm sure you talked to him though, yeah?
I ain't talked to him today or yesterday. I talked to Shiloh. Shiloh called me, but I said, bro, right now, if you want to talk, everybody just fly in and come see me, bro. I ain't trying to be on my phone. I'm not trying to do any of that. If you want to talk, just pull up on me, and then we could talk from there. But other than that, I don't even check my phone. Too many people have been texting me, are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. I didn't get robbed. My house did.
It's safe to say that Shiloh will be there now?
I think. Yeah, I think. Like I say, whenever it's either, I just say, bro, let me know. And I got enough people around me to communicate and the details with everything. So I'm fine.
How much of the support from your teammates has led to some confidence in this moment? How much have they kind of rallied around you from training camp to now to make you feel confident to go out there?
A lot. I would say the teammates are definitely a big portion of everything, but at the same time, they have their own jobs they have to do also. So I have to take that upon myself to know that I have the responsibility, to bring this team a win on our side of the ball. So I got to do what's necessary to do that.
Shedeur, when you look at some of those blitz looks that the Ravens showed you in the second half, what do you think that you maybe could have done better? And what do you think a week for the practice will allow you to kind of adjust to this?
I think I handled the blitz pretty good. I think it's some certain scenarios, I could have been tighter, with my footwork and anything. But when it comes from film study and from everything, there's a lot of things, from that side, I done well. And, minus the couple things going into the game, of course, that I could change. But all that's about feel. All that's about a different feel and about getting the reps and doing everything like that. So I'm excited and doing to the game as the time went on. You seen the comfort. You seen all that. You seen the juice behind it. So I know I could get to that place. So that moment was a moment of hope, and I hope we all have.
You talked about how excited
you've talked so much about how much of a comfort level you have with your hungry dog guys and how much you really love to throw those guys. Do you think that these guys will, the coaches will give you an opportunity to have some of your comfort hungry dogs?
See, I ain't got that much motion here yet. I don't have that much motion here yet. I got to win some games. I got to do what I got to do to be able to make some requests. But right now, I'm just excited to be on the field right now.
She talked about how excited she said sometimes he and you in the mornings go over the tape of the previous practice regularly. What do you get out of those sessions, the one-on-ones with Kevin?
I gained a lot knowing, going through the checklist, going through the reads and all that. But look, all that stuff changes whenever you're in a real game. Like, honestly, it feels way different. I don't know. Hungry Dog's cool, but it's not like the real thing. You know what I mean? So, that keeps you, mentally, so you don't go out there and be a disaster. But I don't think I think it's cool.
Listen to this, man. I believe and I know that Shedeur Sanders has been waiting for this moment for a very long time, right? He's been waiting for this moment to seize the moment, to seize this opportunity. It's very important, man. I've said this from the beginning. Shedeur Sanders has to prove himself time and time again. It's been like that when he's been at Jackson State. He dominated when he was at Jackson State. A lot of people, the Shedeur haters, were saying that, hey, he's doing this against the HBCU teams. It's not real competition when you get to that another level in college on D1. Then he went to Colorado, and he helped change the culture. And, they won 9 games. His teammate Travis Hunter won the Heisman Trophy. A lot of that was a contributing factor of Shedeur Sanders. This guy has been a walking, consistent football player as a quarterback and a leader of men as he stepped on that field. He's strong in the pocket. He has laser accuracy on when he throws the ball. You saw that even in the second half against the Baltimore Ravens. And the Baltimore Ravens was throwing all different type of schemes from the defensive strategy perspective to try to confuse Shedeur. The offensive line did not help him as much as he should have. But at the end of the day, nevertheless, everything that Shedeur Sanders is going to be up against, he's going to be scrutinized even more than the other quarterback, Dillon Gabriel. That's just the truth of the matter. Now, this is his opportunity. This is his opportunity, and he has to shine. He has to perform at a very high level. Even his dad, Deion, even said that he can't just play well, he has to play great to separate himself from Dillon Gabriel. Let me say that again. He cannot, and this is just the deck of cards that is stacked up against Shedeur, but he's built for this pressure moment. He cannot just play well. He has to play great. He has to dominate. He has to make a clear distinction between him and Dylan Gabriel. And that's what he's up against starting this Sunday against the Raiders. I'm excited for this opportunity for Shedeur Sanders. I can't wait to see him play on Sunday. I'm going to be right there, front row center, to watch him play, to see what type of performance he's going to put on against the Los Angeles Raiders. But hey, the Las Vegas Raiders. Hey, but let me tell you this. The Raiders are going to be prepared. Don't get into the hype that the Raiders is one of the worst teams in football. Don't get into all that. Play your game. You've had a lot of reps that you're getting this week with the first team. Understand the schemes that they're probably going to be throwing at you coming this Sunday, and do not take the Raiders for granted. You cannot take the Raiders for granted. They are an NFL team for a reason. Any team can be beat on any given Sunday. Trust. Any team can be beat on any given Sunday. So you can't go out there thinking that, okay, they're the worst team, so we got an opportunity. You have to go out there and take it. You got to go out there and perform at a very high level. I would love to see Shedeur Sanders with 2-3 touchdowns, his passing yards over 200 yards plus, no picks, no interceptions. That would be great to see. If he does throw an interception, throw one, that's it. Learn from that, but go out there and perform. We need 200 plus yards from Shedeur Sanders, especially he's playing in the full game. Protect yourself at all times. If you have to run the ball, if you have to run outside of the pocket, slide. Do not take those hits. Those defenders are waiting to put hits on you. Protect yourself at all times, so that way you can stay in the game, play a full game, and that way you can give your team the best opportunity to win. You don't have to make the big play every play. Do your check downs. See in the middle of the field. See in the middle of the left side of the field, the middle of the right side of the field. Get those short yardage plays, the 5 to 10 yards, which is going to open you up where you can do the play action, where you can get those 25-yard gains off a pass. Let me tell you something. Seeing him play against the Ravens, you saw the ball move. And, even though he had an interception, but let me tell you something. You had hope when you saw Shedeur Sanders. The crowd erupted, and you saw the ball move down the field. That's all you can ask of your quarterback, is to give your wide receivers an opportunity. Give your tight end an opportunity. Give your running back an opportunity. That's all you could do as a quarterback, and minimize your mistakes as much as possible. That is crucial. So I'm excited to see Shedeur Sanders, man, on this Sunday. Let's see if we can find another interview for Shedeur Sanders.
Christoph from Gorilla Sports. I have
Yes,
two
sir.
quick ones for you. First is, we know the question of when, not if, but can you take us in the emotions of Shedeur going into the game, and just as you're watching it as a dad?
I was in the office alone. I told him, this past week that he was going to play. It's going to be one way or another. I thought the Ravens would have played better early on to provoke him getting in. I didn't want him to get in by injury because I'm fond of Dylan and I want him to be successful as well. But I didn't want that to happen. But getting in the way he did, you know, I know there's going to be some inconsistencies of a lot of things because I know football. But I was happy for him just getting the opportunity and running on that field because I know the fight behind the fight. Yeah, if I can say that modestly. I know what's been transpiring behind the curtains. And I'm just proud of him because he's not just saying the right things. He's doing and living the right things. That's just who he is. And I'm glad through trials and tribulations, there has been a consistency of the thread that he's been speaking. And just like the things you guys heard for a couple of years, that's who he is. And they keep trying to make him out to be somebody else, but he is who he is. He's a Sanders.
And then you said,
I like what he said. He's a Sanders, and that speaks for something. I like Coach Prime, man. On my platform, I always uplift the Sanders family, man, because they have been thrown a lot of hate their way, a lot of negativity. But they still press forward. They still elevate themselves mentally and physically, especially the challenges that Coach Prime Deion Sanders has been going through, but how he doesn't use that as an excuse. He goes out there and he puts his best foot forward. And how many people, knowing the mental perspective that you must have and knowing the wrongness that has been done against the Sanders family, to still go out there and speak very fond of Dylan Gabriel, who is his son's competition. See, that's why the Sanders families are so successful. It's because they don't get in all of that negative situations back and forth. They always take the high road. Now, they're men. You're going to respect them now, because if you disrespect them, they're going to let you know about it. But that's just what men do. At the end of the day, though, they always keep God first. They always try to stay positive as much as possible. And they believe and have faith in their God-given abilities to be able to go out there and be leader of men, but also go out there and be leaders for themselves as well, to perform at a very high level. That's Coach Prime's career. That's Shedeur Sanders' career, as his young career as he's getting started in NFL in his first start. And that is if God has his way, if Shiloh hopefully gets an opportunity to get back into the NFL. But hey, let's make no mistake about it. You know, everybody's path is different. Everybody's paths is different. And I know a lot of people were saying some things that Shedeur Sanders should have went to the Baltimore Ravens. There was a report that he had an opportunity for the Ravens to draft him and to be a backup behind Lamar Jackson. But look how things turn out. Look how things turn out. He's starting. He's starting in his first NFL start against the Raiders on this Sunday. So, you know, everybody's path is not going to be the way you feel it should be. He owned he owned it far as his own mindset, his own decision, that he wanted to go to a best place that he believed that he had an opportunity to start. And he's gotten his opportunity. And that's all you can ask for, man. So I'm proud of Shedeur, man. I'm proud of what he's doing, how he's leading by example with this organization, with this football team. He's speaking up, he's speaking out, and he's showing his leadership skills on and off the field. So definitely, man, tune in this Sunday, man. I can't wait to watch it this Sunday, man. And I know he's going to put his best foot forward. I know he's going to give it 110%, and I know he's going to perform well. Until next time, guys, man, y'all take care and stay tuned to the next live video later today.